So this book, All Marketers Are Liars slash Tell Stories, another one by legendary author and marketer Seth Godin. But was it as amazing as Purple Cow? Or not really? To be honest, I had mixed feelings about this book and I didn't quite love it as much as the other ones. If you're curious to find out why, then all you have to do is keep on watching. Hi everyone, I'm Kevin from Entrepreneurs Book Club, here to bring you reviews of books that I think all entrepreneurs should read. So if you want to save time and follow along to discover some truly valuable gems in the space, then you can support me by liking this video and subscribing down below if you haven't already. So what is this book all about? Well, it can be summarized as follows. Consumers like you and I, we really believe what we want to believe, right? And oftentimes once we start believing something, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. However, the stories that marketers tell that we want our consumers to believe need to be authentic through and through in order for it to really work, catch on, and be sustainable. Who is this book for? Well, it's for marketers, of course, but also just any entrepreneur that's trying to figure out how to tell a coherent story about your business or product so that it will really resonate and be noticed by your customers. One thing that Mr. Godin talks about a lot in this book is lies. Now, you may be wondering what exactly that is. It's actually not the malicious type of lies that you may think, but it's in fact a form of story, right? Like everyone tells stories, even to yourself. For example, we tell ourselves stories about bottled water being tastier, being healthier, when in fact all signs point to that not being the case, and it being marginally better than tap water, which you can get for free. Or you may oftentimes tell yourself a story that you need a new iPhone that came out, even though you bought one just a year or two ago, and the new one that comes out is not really better performing at all than your old one. There are plenty of examples of stories that we tell ourselves, or lies is what Mr. Godin calls it. And the idea is that marketers are a special type of liar or storyteller in which they are able to connect their product or service to the consumer's worldview. One lesson that really stuck with me when I read this book is about framing and how that's super important. So if you don't know what frames are, basically those are everything surrounding an idea, like the words used to describe it, the images that you show, the interactions surrounding it, and so forth. For example, instead of calling it stealing intellectual property from musicians, you could call it file sharing. Instead of calling them strippers, you can call them professional dancers. This kind of ties into part of Godin's main message, and that is every little thing you do needs to be woven together into the overarching larger story that you're trying to tell. And that is how great marketing works. What are some of the things I liked? Well, I love the numerous examples and real world stories that he told in order to get the point across. These really helped me think and reflect on how these stories were told and how I could take part of those and utilize it in my storytelling for my products and services. One great story was about a glass maker who made wine glasses per se that were really expensive and had fancy design, shapes, and material. And he was able to tell a great story that said that wine tastes better in his glasses. So instead of using a $1 wine glass, people used his like $50 wine glasses. And when they tried it out, even the expert wine tasters, they were like, oh wow, it tastes way better in these, not only the expensive wines, but also the cheap wines in these Riedel wine glasses. And so the reason why it works so well is because we told ourselves the story already that wine must taste better in expensive glasses. But when push came to shove and people did double-blind scientific tests that hid the shape or the material of the glass, you really couldn't tell any discernible difference at all. So George Riedel was able to combine his glasses with the story, and together they made great marketing, and he was able to sell millions of dollars worth of these glasses. It's funny because it wasn't the material in which you stored the wine. It wasn't the month in which you picked the wine that made it taste better. It turned out to be the marketing that made the wine taste better. Now let's chat about what are some of the things I disliked about this book. To be honest, it was definitely more high level and conceptual than some of the other books I've read. Many of the chapters were just repeating the same concepts, trying to drive them home. But to be honest, two of the other books I've read in the marketing space before, that being Story Brand and also Purple Cow by Seth Godin, pretty much covered 90% of the subject matter from this book. So I didn't really learn that many new things while reading this. There wasn't that many aha moments as in the other books, but it was a good refresher though. So overall, it was a decent book, but if you've read some of the other ones in the marketing space, then you might want to skip this one for now. I probably won't check out another Seth Godin book for a while because I have some other topics I want to dive into first. But now let's do my ranking. Remember how I do these rankings? I would put this book down here, second from the bottom. So that's my personal opinion. Let me know what you think about this book if you've read it before. But also next up, I'm going to cover Organize Tomorrow Today. One about productivity, just living and working and operating efficiently. I'm really excited about this one. I already dove a little bit into it, but I have a lot more to go. Let me know what you think about my reviews and what I should read next. But also, I just hope you a happy holiday season, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Peace out.